Have you seen an African in Czech Republic before?
The African presence in the Czech Republic is very recent. There is a complete lack of knowledge as to Africans even living as a normal people.
Where?
Even in Prague, a lot of people are a little bit afraid or worried about meeting a stranger, especially, you know, a different color of skin.
And can you feel me?
To break through this fear, you know, of the unknown and strange, we wanted to start with children.
Do I look like an African to you?
Children actually copy a lot of things they hear from their parents. So if the child starts asking a lot of questions, then the parents would explain things to do with their prejudice against another race. So we wanted to start with schools because we thought that is when children start asking questions.
Yes, I look like an African, and I am an African, and I come from Ghana.
For many children, it's like the first time they meet Africa and an African. And I think the first impression is always important.
A co je Afrika?
Afrika je to země, která je hrozně velká a je tam pořád tam svítí slunce a je tam pořád vedro.
Je tam pořád vedro a co ještě?
A pořád svítí slunce.
Je tam teplejší? Ano, máte pravdu.
It gets really interesting, especially when the children have an opportunity to talk to an African directly.
Jak ti lidé z Afriky jsou odlišné od lidí, kteří tady žijí? Jsou černí. A všichni jsou černí v Africe? Jsou všichni černí?
We want the children to experience that the African people are normal people like anybody else. You know, they go to school and stuff like that.
Nemají školu tam, rozumíte? A ty děti chtějí do školy, máme jak si do školy, tak jak si do školy, ale není tam škola. Musí chodit 10 kilometrů, 15 kilometrů, aby chodili do školy.
The discussion goes into, you know, the differences between the poor and the rich world. Sometimes works great, but sometimes children don't respond to that. It's not always that you have a good response from children. You know, children, the center of their attention is a game, you know. We saw that children themselves are very much interested about what kind of games children play in Ghana. They also ask a lot of questions about their everyday life. They want to know if children in Africa in general read Harry Potter, or, you know, they want to know if they have the same interests like them. So you have to explain, and it's quite surprising for them to hear what other interests have children in another part of the world. Adinka is a set of symbols that is known in West Africa and is quite widely used in Ghana especially. Every symbol has a meaning. Some of them explain the personal quality like bravery. Others go back to African values like to preserve tradition. You can develop discussions around it. There is a whole philosophy behind it. It proved to be a really great way of introducing the African culture. They have lots of questions about the meanings. You know, you can start with simple symbols like love. Love is pictured differently in European culture, and in African culture it's not a heart like in European culture. It introduces African values. That is the most important thing, and we used it in the program as a tool of teaching children about African values, African culture. Children, they enjoy it very much. They make beautiful t-shirts and beautiful things. It gives the program a broader perspective, than not only African culture, a culture that is different from our, but what do we share? What values do we share? And I think that is important.
The youth of every nation is the future of that nation, or the future leaders of that nation.
Who amongst you would like to become a friend to Africa?
If we are able to interact and reach the youth at the tender age, then they will be able to experience Africa, positive Africa, right from their childhood. And then when they grow up, then it is easy for them to help to make good policies that actually really promotes Czech-African relation.
Nobody likes to live in a society where there are tensions between races or people who are different. And of course, Czech Republic will become more multicultural. That is totally inevitable development. My children are going to live in a more multicultural society than I am now. So I think it's important to do such programs because it helps to lose the tensions in the society, helps people to get closer, get to know each other. It helps us to change the world a bit.
Okay, let's go. Everybody, restart. Watch.